So The Invaders, a classic 1960s TV science fiction show starring the great Roy Thinnes. This ran for 2 seasons from 1967 to 68. I think there was 43 episodes in all. It's a great show. Really, I think it was made by Quinn Martin Productions. Same people that made The Fugitive, and it has a lot of similarities to The Fugitive in the sense of a man on the run, going from across America from town to town. Although Roy Thinnes is really the pursuer here, not the pursued. He's on the trying to convince a disbelieving public and people in power of this alien invasion that he has witnessed, that he's got evidence of. This distant alien race are invading Earth by kind of cloning themselves to look like humans and infiltrating Earth's institutions, military, finance, science, all these kind of different areas to kind of, it must have been a long-term plan they had. I don't know, 5-10 year plan or whatever. When I was watching it, I always thought that was a strange plan. Instead of just coming down and invading and taking over, as most alien forces do in films, they had this long-term plan. I don't know why. Because they seem to have the forces to take over, and the technology. So basically, he's trying to stop them each week. He's trying to stop a different plot, whatever the story might be that week. They did have flaws, though. I mean, one of the great selling points of the show was the paranoia. You didn't know who was who because they cloned themselves so convincingly. But they did have flaws. They had their fourth finger was deformed. They had no pulse, and they didn't bleed, and they showed very little emotion. And they had a very peculiar way of spontaneously combusting when they were killed. So any evidence that he gathered would tend to be destroyed by the aliens, or anyone that he happened to convince in the show of their existence would usually end up being killed at the end of the episode. But he was kind of portrayed as a crank, a conspiracy theorist by the media and by a lot of people in the show, and that meant he was really working on his own for most of the time. But a great show, a great central performance by Thinnes. He's the main draw of the show, a great character, and he really does do a great job. But it's got a wonderful paranoid feel to it, and the music score is terrific in this film. Really creepy, really sets the atmosphere brilliantly up for the show. Not quite as good as The Fugitive. It didn't have quite such deep characters or such a well-written stories, and it was a little bit possibly more formulaic than The Fugitive. But a great show all the same, and a really worthy watch. That's Invaders. Thanks for listening, and bye.